and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take two rifles that I own. Any reloader, any hunter, any shooter will tell you that they try to make each rifle the best that it can be. And it really has no use to compare one against the other because they are unique. But today I'm taking my established Bergara BMP against my Christensen Arms MPR, because this is a new rifle. I have this one established. Now I'm going to use it as a baseline to build up the cartridge to make this rifle the best that it can be. So stick around, folks. Target set up at 100 yards. Now, just for YouTube, etc., I'm shooting in the same place that I always shoot. There's no one here. It's private property I've written permission to be on. I have safe backstops. All safety precautions are taking place. So let's get to shooting. Okay, here's the two rifles that I'll be shooting today. It's not necessarily a comparison, more of a baseline. But the one closest to you is my new Christensen Arms MPR, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Lightweight package with a lot of carbon fiber as far as the barrel, the handguard, and the cheek riser is concerned. The one behind it is one that you already know. That's my Bergara BMP. It's a shooter, and I've done an extensive workup on that, so if you want to look at my past playlist, look it up. But really I'm focusing on the MPR today because it needs to have a proper load workup. But everybody needs to start with a baseline. So my baseline today is going to be a comparison between the two using the load data for the Bergara BMP. Okay, first up is my Bergara BMP that I'm using as the baseline model, because I've already done extensive workups on at least 5 different loads with this rifle, and it shoots very, very well. So the first up is a 120 grain gold dot that I developed as a hunting load for deer. It's very effective. I have not shot a deer with this rifle though, but it'll be the target on the left. Cold bore shot is the most important to a hunter because that's the one you shoot. So let's go ahead and get to shooting. Again, target on the left, 3 shots. Wind is blowing directly across this way. You can see it on the target. It's probably about 15 miles to 20 mile an hour gusts. So I don't know if that'll play a factor, but we'll check. Target's at 100 yards. Yep, wind, but we'll see. Alright, that's about 1 inch to 3/4 inch group. Okay. We go down and mark that target because next up will be the 107 grain. Okay, now the 107 grain Sierra Tip Match King that I've already shot through this rifle. You might notice I don't have a chronograph on because I already have the numbers. Alright, so target on the left, 3 shots. I marked those first 3 down there with a Sharpie. So let's go ahead and see how this shoots. Again, I got about a 20-mile-an-hour wind gust, so this may not be perfect. Alright, let's go mark that target and then switch over to the Christensen MPR. Okay, now my Christensen Arms MPR. If you watched my last rather extensive video, I did not shoot the loads that were loaded up for the Bergara in the 120 grain Gold Dot and the 107 grain Sierra very well. It shot, you know, just an inch, maybe a little bit over. So I am repeating that process today just to see if it was shoot or error. But again, this is a baseline. Now I want you to keep in mind that these are loads that were worked up for the Bergara. I have not yet started to work up loads for this. That'll come down the road on all three of those bullets. But the funny thing is on the 140 grain Gold Dot, both rifles shot darn near identical, sub half inch. So I don't need to mess with the 140. But the 107 and the 120, that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get going here. First up is 120. It'll be the target on the right. Again, I think you can see that wind down there on the target. I also have to get a different rail, because this is a 20 MOA rail and I'm bottomed out as far as the scope is concerned, so I can't really, come on here, there we go, so I can't really adjust down any further. But anyway, let's go ahead and do it with what we have. Seems to be shooting a little bit better today, so on the 120 grain. So maybe that previous video was just shoot or error, which is probable. All right, see? Today was a different day, different group. All right, let's go to the 107s after I mark that down there so we don't get screwed up. Be right back. Okay, that was a pretty good little group down there for the 120 grain Gold Dots. Now I just want to kind of react to people who commented in my video when I first introduced this rifle about not agreeing with Christensen Arms seasoning or breaking in process with the barrel. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I figured that if somebody put those directions in there, they didn't do it because they had extra ink. This is what worked out better so that the customer can be satisfied with an accurate rifle over the long term and not complain about it or return it to them. So maybe that's why that 120 shot better than it did in 2 videos ago, where it opened up to about an inch and a quarter. Alright, so here we go with the 107s. Let's keep your fingers crossed. See if this shoots the same or better than it did 2 videos ago. Alright, it'll be the target on the right. Here we go. Again, that wind is playing havoc, but I'll do the best I can. Okay. Again, because of this rail, I can't adjust the scope down any further, so I have to sort of live with it or get a new rail. All right, third and final shot. All right, let's go analyze that target. Okay, on the left here is the Bergara. Here's the 120 grain gold dot. That's about maybe 1 inch or maybe a little less. And then the 107 grain with the Bergara, you can see that's like a ½ an inch. Okay, so those are the loads that I did work up for the Bergara. That's the baseline. Okay, now let's go over to the Christensen Arms. Now this again is using the loads that were developed for here, but it's kind of interesting. The pattern's not that much different, except for on the 107 grain Sierra tip match game, I had the same stringing that I had on the previous time that I shot those bullets. But look at the 120 grain gold dot. That ended up being about a ½ an inch, maybe a little bit more, maybe 3/4 of an inch. But before that shot 1 1/4 inches, so this proves that it was just shooter error. Anyway, folks, I don't know if you got all the target footage. I think the camera blanked out, but this was the result. So put down in the comment section whether or not you think that based upon the Christensen Arms that I should just leave the loads the same, or go ahead and work up loads that would be maybe a little bit better or more streamlined towards the Christensen MPR. Thanks for watching, folks, and if you did like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. But no matter what, God bless you all. Have a great day. Goodbye.